This is Steve Robbins. Welcome to the Get It Done Guys, quick and dirty tips to work less and do more. Clarity. We need it. Desperately. All too often, we make agreements with other human beings only to find out later that we thought we'd agreed on one thing and they thought we'd agreed on another. Surprise! And not a happy one. But there is a quick and easy way to get 90% of the agreement with 10% of the work. After much rumination, Bernice decided to add a new plant species to the inventory of her green growing things plant stores. Like any good boss, Bernice values her employees' opinions, so she asked for recommendations. Bring me plants we should add to our lineup. Her employees, Melvin, Europa, and Thomas, leapt to the challenge, bringing back some pretty awesome suggestions. Dandelions, proclaimed Melvin. Lots and lots of dandelions. Audrey threes, they're the bomb, suggested Thomas. And of course, Boab trees were Europa's recommendation. Bernice took one look at the list and instantly recognized that none of these would do. Her team was smart, so what was the problem? How could they be so wrong? And of course, they aren't wrong. And neither is Bernice. The problem is between them. It's communication. Bring me plants we should add to our lineup is so general that the team could bring any kind of plant, including a coal-burning power plant, and it would fit that bill. One tiny tool can help Bernice bring clarity and understanding when setting up agreements, and that's an is-not sheet. To create an is-not sheet, grab a fresh piece of paper and at the top of the paper, write your vague phrase. If you're doing a project proposal, this can be your deliverable. Draw a single vertical line down the middle and label one side is and the other side is not. Then, with the help of the people you need clarity with, because the clarity comes from the process, not the finished product, fill in each side with whatever the vague phrase is or is not. Bernice would label her page, plants we should add to our lineup. Off the bat, the team can agree on a few characteristic is's. The plant is cost-effective. The plant is greenhouse compatible. They are a plant store after all. Bernice's schmoopy Melvin adds pretty to look at to the is side. There is some debate, but the team agrees. Thomas, normally lost in his headphones as any teenage boy would be, surprised everyone by tossing in, it should be highly functional since we disapprove of monotasking plants. The team also agrees to add is alive to the is section, just in case some team member brings up coal-fired power plants as a type of plant. I can't imagine who they would be thinking of. Chris notices that many of the store's plants are either poisonous or carnivorous. They suggest that new additions to the lineup should be safe to eat, so the store can become more popular with suburban stay-at-home parental units. The team agrees. The is not side of the page is used to rein in the options. Undesirable characteristics go there straight away. A new plant should not be microscopic. So much for Bernice's pet project for seasonal plankton. As the group creates their is not list, they can instantly see why the earlier suggestions didn't work. A new addition to the store is not to be found everywhere in the world. Goodbye, dandelions. It is not to be actively deadly to customers. Bye-bye, Audrey threes. And it is not a tree that could take over an entire planet. So much for Boab trees. You can deepen your is not sheet by making sure you're using all parts of speech. Because the neat thing about is not sheets is that anything can come after the word is or the word is not. So based on their is not criteria, the Green Growing Things team has chosen the aloe vera plant as their next big product at Green Growing Things. Now it's time to create a marketing plan to sell the aloe. And you guessed it, it's time for another is not sheet. Bernice has a very specific idea for what a marketing plan looks like, so she starts off the is not with nouns. A good marketing plan, Bernice explains, is a binder with sections. It is a timeline. It is a list of action assignments. Thomas says it is full of key success indicators that can be used to measure success or failure. The team catches on, and they move on to the is not side of the page. Chris points out that a marketing plan is not a video. Melvin says that it is not a secret book of wizardry locked in Bernice's desk in her office. Just goes to show how tuned in he is. Europa says that it is not revolutionary extremist propaganda. These are all fine is-not statements. They're a little out there, but they do draw boundaries. And you and I both know that if you were in the room, you would add nouns that bring the boundaries in a little bit tighter. That a marketing plan is not a sales script. It is not the implementation of that plan, and it is not a rote duplicate of a previous plan. That covers the nouns. Nouns in your is not generally illustrate what something is. But you can use adjectives too. Deliberately add them. Again, this is intended to be super flexible. A marketing plan is organized, actionable, revisable, shareable on the internet, optimistic, and under 30 pages. A marketing plan is not written in passive voice, hard to understand, written in less than 10-point font, or burdensome. Adjectives in your is not generally imply goals, benchmarks, and the qualities of how the deliverable works. Finally, you can also add in qualities of how the deliverable is produced. The team is getting used to this, and now they're adding, a marketing plan is written by Melvin and Chris, done by the end of Q1, implementable within 2 weeks of being finished, written with everyone's input in mind, and shared with the entire team. A marketing plan is not created without looking at existing sales data, rigid in the face of contradictory data, or implemented without being approved by Bernice. 2 weeks have passed since Bernice and her team introduced aloe into the inventory of green growing things. Melvin and Chris's marketing plan was designed and implemented beautifully, and profits are way up. To celebrate, the team decides it's time for a free movie night! Yay! And they start by asking everyone on the team what an entertaining movie is and is not. Is and is not sheets are great ways to help define a common goal or deliverable. They're quick for a group to create, and the discussion that goes into them helps make sure that everyone is on the same page, and the only surprises are happy ones. Have you ever wanted to make a change but have been stopped up with questions like, is now the right time? Will I regret it? What if I fail? When to Jump is a podcast that can help you overcome fears like these. It's hosted by Mike Lewis, who quit his job in finance to play the professional squash tour. Ever since then, Mike has been obsessed with discovering how and why others have jumped from a traditional career feet first into a new challenge. Join him as he shares stories from guests like Sheryl Sandberg and Ariana Huffington about entrepreneurship and pursuing your passion. Subscribe to When to Jump on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or wherever you listen. I'm Steve Robbins. Follow Get It Done Guy on Twitter and Facebook. Do you want great keynote speeches on productivity, living an extraordinary life, or entrepreneurship? Hire me. Find me at steverrobbins.com or text Get It Done to 33444 to join my personal email list, and you'll also get a free copy of my secret book chapter on how to build relationships that help you succeed. Work less, do more, and have a great life.